We all know that mental health care is in a crisis, but there's a part of this story you might not hear about as often. It's not just about patients. It's about the very people we rely on for support who are facing this absolutely overwhelming hidden burden. So let's dive into this and see how one company is using AI to, well, help the helpers.
Just look at this number for a second. 93%. That right there is the burnout rates among behavioral health workers. Globally, it's a huge red flag that the system is stretched to its absolute breaking point, where the caregivers themselves are the ones who desperately need care.
So what's causing all this burnout? Well, a massive piece of the puzzle is this number, 3 hours. That's how much time clinicians often spend every single day on administrative work and writing notes. And get this, that's after they've already spent a full day with patients. That's time that should be for care or just for recharging, but instead it's just lost to paperwork. And the stakes here, they couldn't possibly be higher. If you look at a country like India, for example, there's less than one mental health professional for every 100,000 people. The crisis it's just acute. And this number, 450, represents the number of suicides that happen there every single day. The need is absolutely immense, and the capacity to help is critically, dangerously low. You know, when you put all these pieces together, the picture becomes painfully clear. We're looking at a profession in crisis. You've got this overwhelming demand, a real shortage of clinicians, and this crushing administrative burden on top of it all. It's just creating a totally unsustainable environment for the people on the front lines. And this isn't just about abstract numbers. This is about the real day-to-day experience of these clinicians. This quote from a psychologist just hits the nail on the head. The paperwork isn't just some minor annoyance. It is actively pulling their attention away from the one thing they are uniquely trained to do, help people. So this brings us to a really important question. What if we could just lift that entire administrative burden? You know, what if technology, and specifically AI, could step in and just handle all that paperwork? What would happen if we could free up clinicians to focus 100% on their patients? And that's exactly the idea behind a company called DilSayCare. See, they're not building another therapy app for patients. No, they're building an AI co-pilot, and it's designed specifically for clinicians. It's a tool to give them back their most valuable resource of all, their time. So how does this whole thing work? Well, it's a really smart three-part approach. First, their AI can take a clinician's simple voice notes after a session and, poof, automatically turn them into perfectly structured clinical documents. Second, it's one unified platform for all the logistics, booking, scheduling, managing patients. And then, looking down the road, they're planning to build AI agents that can help with really critical things like crisis detection and patient triage. Now, this next part is really important, their business model. DilSayCare is making it very clear that they are infrastructure, not a marketplace. What does that mean? It means they charge a flat fee and they never take a commission from a therapist's sessions. This is absolutely crucial for building trust with professionals who are, frankly, tired of platforms taking a huge cut of their income. Okay, so the idea is powerful for sure, but is it actually working? Let's take a look at the traction they've gotten, because it's honestly pretty remarkable, especially when you see how they've done it. So get this, their growth has been completely organic. With $0 spent on marketing, they've engaged with over 130 clinicians, they've launched pilots with 5 of India's top tech universities, and they already have active users in 7 different countries. And at one point, they were seeing explosive growth that hit over 1,500% week over week. All this got them a spot in the Google for Startups program. So what did it cost to achieve all of that? Well, this might be the most stunning number of them all. Just over 3 lakh rupees, which is about $3,400 US. That's the total amount they've spent in 16 months. I mean, that is an almost unheard of level of capital efficiency. It's incredible. So who's the team that's pulling all this off? Well, their strength really comes from this unique mix of expertise. You've got deep AI engineering talent from India's top tech schools and experience building massive systems for e-commerce giants like Flipkart. Then, you've got operational experts from places like the Indian Space Research Organization. And, crucially, you have deep clinical knowledge from alumni of the country's biggest mental health platforms and institutes. It's the perfect combination. Okay, so where does DilSayCare fit into the bigger picture? Let's zoom out for a second and look at the competitive landscape just to understand why their position is so unique. And this chart really tells the whole story. On the vertical axis, you've got AI depth, And on the horizontal, you have the range of tools for clinicians. You see, you've got competitors who are all in on AI but don't have many tools, and others with lots of tools but not much AI. And then there's DilSayCare positioning themselves right in that top right corner. High AI depth combined with a whole suite of tools that clinicians actually need. When you put them side by side with the big US players, the difference is just crystal clear. Those tools, they're expensive, they're not built for emerging markets, and they totally lack the AI native documentation that is the absolute core of DilSayCare's entire platform. They're basically building a custom solution for a huge, underserved market. And this isn't just a solution for one country. The team has a really clear vision for how they're going to scale their impact across the globe. Their roadmap is super methodical. Right now, the focus is on perfecting the product in India and getting that product market fit just right. Within the next 2 years, they're planning to expand into Southeast Asia and the UK, markets with really similar healthcare challenges. And from there, they've got their sights set on the big enterprise systems in the US and Europe. And honestly, their timing couldn't be better. The market for AI in mental health is absolutely set for explosive growth. It's projected to jump from just under $1 billion in 2023 to nearly $15 billion within a decade. They are getting into this market right as it's about to take off like a rocket. Which leaves us with this one final thought. By focusing not on the patient but on the overwhelmed clinician, could a simple, super efficient AI copilot actually be the key to unlocking capacity in the entire system? Could this one tool be what allows these dedicated professionals to finally help millions more people simply by giving them back their time?